Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies.
Relax, be cool, cause if you don't, you'll act like a fool, so be cool.
I was really excited for this one, and for one reason only. A couple years ago, a similar flick came out called NEZHA. It was modest with a $20 million budget, but would go on to be an animated juggernaut in China. Netting $84 million in its first 3 days alone, it would go on to become the highest grossing animated movie in China, well over $700 million, a record previously held by Disney's Zootopia's paltry $235 million, which seems so hilarious to me. It was the debut film of its director, Zhao Si, the debut of the production company as well, and had no big-name voice actors. Go China for beating out Disney. Warms this anti-Disney heart of mine. I mean, fuck your government and its police brutality and media censorship, but you guys ought to be proud of yourselves. Personally, I went in blind, not knowing much about it, but came out really liking it. The animation style was wild, the action was fast-paced and hard-hitting, and was surprisingly emotional. By no means perfect. By any stretch of the imagination, but for what it was, I really enjoyed it. It's on Netflix right now, so I highly recommend checking it out. But back on topic. I admittedly assumed that this was a sequel to that movie. But before anyone else says, yeah, that's what I had going through my head too, it's not. It's actually quite independent from the 2019 flick. In fact, if Wikipedia is to be believed, this movie actually started production before that NEZHA film. Cool. Of course, it was slated for a 2020 release, but, yeah.
Normal life canceled.
11 days into the national lockdown.
All public gatherings banned.
Working from home is the new reality.
But it's here now. 2021's looking awesome. I'll take it. This is my honest opinion of New Gods, NEZHA Reborn. "3,000 years ago, the dragon gods were in conflict with the humans. Ultimately, the gods reigned over mankind. In the present day, the most powerful clan in Donghai City, the Day Clan, ruled by the nefarious Ao Guang, voiced by Andrew Kishino, rules its people with cruelty, keeping them in poverty while they live in wealth and comfort. Li Yunxiang, played by Stephen Fu, is a young courier who crosses paths with the son of Ao Guang, Ao Bing, voiced by Johnny Siu, who selfishly wanted Yunxiang's motorcycle, refused to hand it over, resulting in an attempt on his life. Though Yunxiang survives, his friend Kasha, played by Victoria Grace, is injured, and through his rage, Yunxiang discovers that he has demonic powers, and that he is the reincarnated demon known as NEZHA, and has become a target for Guang.
There can be no other way. It must play out like this in every cycle. Before he masters his power, kill him.
Oh yeah, this was awesome. Seriously, screw Raya and the Last Dragon. See this instead. Also, Netflix won't charge you $30 to watch it. Also, yeah! One of the biggest hooks this had for me was that it had a steampunk cyberpunk aesthetic to it. My hands are so red right now. Just gonna clutch onto my iced dirty chai. Thank you, Cafe Ole. Thank you, Austin and Gabby. And once you really dive into this world, it's a truly fascinating one, feeling like a mishmash of sci-fi, fantasy, and sort of that 40s era. Though it's stated that Donghai is actually based on 1920s Manhattan and 30s Shanghai. It shows, and it's captivating. From the downtrodden town of regular folks scraping by on what they can, and of course, the pretentious regal living of the Day Clan. Either way, it's a gorgeous sight, and the town feels alive with its own personality.
Come back tomorrow.
It shouldn't be like this. But it's always been this way. I still believe that things can be different.
Yeah, okay, the animation isn't the best on the market, but you want to know something?
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
While as of this video, I don't know the budget of this movie, I have to assume it's not much more or less than that of NEZHA's $20 million. Or this specific animation company's last animated outing, Whitesnake, which was $11 million. I've said it before and I'll say it again and again, giving praise to Disney for having good animation is no longer a viable positive in my eyes. They can throw hundreds of millions of dollars at their projects, and the company itself is worth over $130 billion. If their films, animated or otherwise, didn't look good, then something is freakishly wrong. Good animation and visuals are expected. Hence, they're meeting a standard, not going above and beyond. Films like these prove something often said, but not often specifically noted. Good or subpar animation, by Disney standards, is not indicative of a good movie. A good movie is indicative of a good movie. I can't look at a Disney trailer anymore and take it seriously because they've been so creatively bankrupt with their live-action remakes and narratively running dry with their animated films that I just don't care. Couple that with their bullshit business practices and virtue signaling agenda, Disney is quickly becoming a brand that I know not to expect anything from, nor do I want whatever they're offering. Unless it's for free. But if you told me that Light Chaser Animation Studios was coming out with a new flick,
shut up and take my money.
I'm down for that 1,000,000%. I'll support the fuck out of that movie. Look, I have no idea what a Chinese animation company is like down there under the tyranny of their government. I hope they're given creative freedom to tell the stories that they want to tell without getting into any legal trouble. And of course, I hope Light Chaser treats their animators well. So until I hear otherwise, I'm going to support this company with more enthusiasm and gusto than anything that Disney will do.
I know what's expected of me. Maybe I'll fail, but you can't say I didn't try.
But back on track. What really steals the show for me is Yunshang's armor. This is quite possibly one of my favorite suits of armor I've ever seen. It's like the love child of Human Torch and Nightwing. I mean, look at this badassery.
I'm both frightened and aroused.
The action scenes are so cool. You have vehicular chase scenes, my favorite being the second one where the assassins are trying to kill Yunshang. Once they get off their vehicles and transition into fisticuffs, the designs of the bad guys are crazy. Look at this insanity. You have a jellyfish woman who's transparent. You got this asshole who's an armored angular fish with a wrecking ball arm. What the hell? This is amazing. It doesn't end there. You have this demon frog guy. You never see what's really under the masks of these Yakuza asswipes. You have this insect cannon thing that fires explosive roly-polies. And let's not forget the ever-amazing...
Let's finish this. Don't tell me you're too afraid!
Prepare to die!
I have become a man this day. Oh yeah. That chest hair is coming in quite nicely. Hey ladies, how's it going? I mostly like the characters, nothing especially fleshed out and pretty generic for the most part, but the voice acting pulls it through, and the writing is just strong enough to make these characters likable, so no real negative in my book.
I don't see what's so great about her. In just a few years, she'll be an old lady. Calling it now.
What? Don't be ridiculous. Just be cool.
With the notable exception of the Masked Man, voiced by Jason Koh. He, grew on me. Fair warning, if you check this out, this character will either make or break the movie for you, because he is a hyper dude. Think a hairy version of Ruby Rod from Fifth Element.
This boy is fused like fire. So start melting, ladies, because the boy is hotter than hot. He's hot, hot, hot.
High-pitched voice, overly cryptic and secretive in annoying-ass ways, and his character is weirdly billed as the one that you don't quite know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I was irritated by him at first, but as soon as we get the training montage underway and to its conclusion, I realized just how creative his character is, right down to his laugh. He laughs like a monkey. I've never seen it executed like this before. The way he's animated, his movements, it's on freaking point. And I grew to love how over the top he is. Plus, there's a payoff at the end that kind of explains why he is the way he is. Makes it understandable and honestly kind of exciting. The story is mostly easy to follow. It doesn't make sense 100% of the time. Character motivations are not the problem. We know why Yunshang wants to fight the Day Clan. They keep hurting his family and friends. The Day Clan wants to kill him because NEZHA represents a threat to their power and have to constantly kill his reincarnated human forms. The problems lie within the lore itself. So NEZHA in this version of the story was a problematic demon child. From what I can tell, he was a villain-type character 3,000 years ago. But I'm not entirely clear on why NEZHA killed himself. In the actual story, the Dragon King Ao Guang threatened to destroy NEZHA's home as revenge for killing his son Ao Bing. But NEZHA sacrificed himself to save everyone. Sacrifice for the greater good is one of the most noble acts a person can make. Villains don't sacrifice themselves for the people they don't like. In this version, Ao Bing is more or less alive and well in the present day. Some details here and there to argue that sentence, but I did say more or less. Unless there's details that get ironed out in the eventual sequel, or if there's just something I downright missed in this is a confusing plot thread.
Listen, I'm going to save people. Not just one person either. I'm saving the whole city. You wouldn't know any of them. Maybe this sort of thing is in your style. Probably after eons of selfish behavior. You're not gonna change now.
This may or may not be a legitimate concern down the line, but when Yunshang says that all the cities are the same, I feel like that's gonna cause problems for the sequel. Thing is, I would love to explore more of this world, the city of Donghai, and see what the other factions look like. But that one line makes it feel like it's setting up the sequel to look more or less the same as this one with no creative diversity. Or, you know, they could just ignore that sentence and do whatever they want. Won't hear me complain about that. We'll see. I have faith, but it's a wonder why they set themselves up like that.
I still believe that things can be different.
Admittedly, that's a nitpick, so who really cares in the grand scheme of things? But speaking of nitpicks, I got a few more up my sleeve. There are some weird beats where the characters break the fourth wall for some reason.
And right now, I'm a racer. Specifically a racer who's about to become champion. Getting ahead of myself.
Ah, you think my calling him NEZHA got his attention? He should look surprised. Oh, come on. He didn't think he would go down that easy.
I'm not entirely sure why this character was spared, since it doesn't really amount to anything.
I said let her go.
You heard him. Just letting you go.
It won't change who you are. Nothing can ever change that.
And the script has its fair share of painful moments too.
When I like something, it belongs to me.
Despite everything, we do okay. We're not rich, but we're not poor either. At least, every cent I have, I made honorably.
It ain't a perfect flick, but it is one hell of a wild ride. It's full of creativity and excitement. It's action-packed. The score is awesome. It's an overall really cool package, and I really recommend this to everyone. And it's a far better use of your time than watching Raya and the Last Dragon. I promise you that. Yes, I'm going to kick Disney in the balls any chance I get. They don't earn my money, but they earn my hate. My honest rating for New Gods, NEZHA Reborn, a strong 4 out of 5.
Long time no see, NEZHA.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Please wear a mask if you go out. Get vaccinated for family, friends, and community. Hope to see you soon.
So be cool. Face facts. 'Cause time